Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. It feels special today because we've been traveling through some of the different qualities of the phases of the cycles, and this evening we are going to focus on the qualities of autumn, or as the Americans say, fall, which is actually quite appropriate because there is this sense of letting go. We just have to look at nature around us and the leaves falling to really tune into that. And so we're going to have quite a lot of breath focus today. So I invite you to get really comfortable. In actual fact, you can do this lying down, but we are going to physically, or the invitation is to physically touch different areas of your lungs. So including the back body. So actually lying down can be a little tricky, but it's possible. Otherwise, if you're not keen to sit on the ground for a while, either lift the hips up with your cushion or sit on your chair. So before we go anywhere, let's pause for a moment and simply arrive. And often we're not practiced in connecting with our breath, so it can be a little bit, for some of us it can feel a little bit anxious making. At this very moment, we're not even aiming to alter. We're simply witnessing the breath. It might be super shallow. It might be irregular. Allow yourself to really accept the flow of your breath at this moment. So in yoga, we call this breath prana, and prana is unlimited. So even with that suggestion, that might alter your relationship with your breath. And in Chinese medicine, the lungs are the receiver of this heavenly qi, this heavenly energy. So again, without commenting or judging, see if you can be connected somehow with your breath. You might sense it in the nostrils, the cooler air entering, the body warmed air leaving, or you might sense it in your belly, or your whole body opening to the breath and letting go. So we're going to move into a practice, a 9-part breathing practice, where we will, if you like, focus on different bands of the lungs. So that'll be the lower band, the middle band, and the upper band. And we're going to breathe into 3 areas in each of these bands. So we'll start with the lower band, and if you'd like to place your hands, you don't have to. Sort of on your diaphragm, somewhere like this at the base of your lungs, and we'll spend a few moments. Whether the breath actually physically goes there or not, don't worry about it. I'll just check you're in, Anna. Yes, you're in. Good. So basically, really good. Breathe into this lower band of your lungs at the front. So this is what we'll do in all the bands. So take your time to imagine you can direct your breath to this lower band of your lungs in the front area. And you might start to feel a little movement under your fingers, under your palms. Anytime your body decides a sigh is called for, I encourage you to really listen, or allow, I should say. Focusing into this lower front region. And now, still remaining with this lower band of our lungs, you can slide the hands round to the sides. It's quite nice. You can either take your palms there if that feels good in the shoulders, or maybe the backs of the hands. You see how you feel? And now we're in this lower band and we're breathing into the sides. So you choose how specific you make that as a physical practice. Maybe you allow it just to be or maybe you feel you want to actively move this area. So you really are directing the best practice for you at this moment, without judgment, into the sides of this lower band of your lungs. Wonderful. Keeping the shoulders, the face relaxed as best you can. Keeping your focus. This is such a precious practice you're with right now. You and your breath, your life force, your energy, your chi. And so staying with this lower band, we're going to slide the hands to the back portion of the lungs. Here it might be good to have the backs of the hands touching. And again, let's direct the breath into the backs of the hands, or the fronts if that's the way your hands are turned. There's no right or wrong here, it's your way of connecting. And some of us might not even want to move the hands. We might want to do it with an internal feeling and a visualization. So once again, I probably will keep saying this, make the practice your own. You're your own guide here. Breathing into the lower band, the back of the lower back, of the lower lungs, I should say. Wonderful. So now you've visited the 3 areas of this lower band, and you can move the hands or not, but we're going to start the inhalation in the front, take it out to the sides, out to the back, and when we exhale, we're exhaling from the back to the sides and to the front. So practice that in your own rhythm. Inhaling front, side, back, exhaling back to the sides, to the front. Take 2 more rounds in your own rhythm, and I won't speak so that you can find your own pattern. And at the end of that exhalation at the front lower band, let's just drop the hands for a moment and simply be. Let's imagine as you breathe into this lower band, you're sending the sound of ah into this lower band. The first part of Om, sending it into the lower band of your lungs. Lovely. Let's move into the middle band. So this could be sternum level, it could be heart level, nipple level, wherever it is, the middle part of your lungs. And let's take a few breaths into this middle band front area. So if you're not feeling too much movement, you choose how to be with that. Maybe you make it a little bit more physical, or maybe you allow your awareness to become more subtle. These are the possibilities of connecting with this middle front band of your lungs, the middle band at the front. Lovely. And now let's slide the hands out to the sides and breathe into that middle band at the sides. This horizon feeling, this broad horizon as we breathe into the sides of the lungs, in that mid band. And when you feel ready, let's take it to the middle band, to the back, somewhere. If it gets too much, you can release your hands, but let's breathe into the back in this mid area. So staying with your breath, staying with your lungs. Life-giving. So now let's take the breath in those three parts. So let's bring the hands to the middle band at the front, and we're going to inhale to front, to side, into the back, and we're exhaling from the back into the sides and into the front. Take your time and do a few more rounds in your rhythm. So we're with that middle band, front, side, back to inhale, back, side, front to exhale. You take one more breath and one more exhalation. And then when you're ready, releasing your hands and just letting the hands be soft. The channels for the lungs and the large intestine, which are associated with autumn, run through the chest and through the arms. So take this moment to really drop your arms. And while you breathe here, imagine you're sending ooh, the middle sound of om, au, into this middle band of your lungs. Relaxing the shoulders. Now we'll take our focus to the top of our lungs, so we can lightly bring the fingers or the tips of the fingers, however you wish to place your hands, just below the collarbones, right to the top of our lungs. And let's breathe into this top area in the front of our lungs. Once again, if the movement is very small, hone your awareness so that you have a sense, however small it is, however subtle, of change, of movement, of exchange. Lovely. And then we'll take it into the sides. Now, a good way to feel the sides is actually to take the thumbs into the armpits and breathe into the top sides of your lungs. Keep the neck relaxed if you can, and the shoulders, and just breathing into the top and sides of your lungs. That's nice. Lovely. Let's take it to the back. So a good way to reach the top of the backs of the lungs is actually to go in from the top and take the fingers behind. So you might lift your elbows and breathe into the top band of your lungs at the back. Not even to worry how much movement there is or isn't. With your focus, with your attention, all is coming, all is transforming and healing. And now, with or without the hands moving, we'll breathe into the top band. So breathing into the front, into the sides, into the back, and exhaling from the back, into the sides, and to the front. So take that a few more times, with or without your hands, front, side, and back. And when you're ready to exhale from the back, into the sides, into the front, by yourself, another round. If it's slow, take one more round. If it's a bit faster, take two. When you're ready, relaxing your arms again. Let the jaw be soft. Let the throat be soft. Sense of ease and space. So now, as the mind can be very fluid and can move very swiftly through the body, we're going to add them all together so that we visit 9 areas. So that means we'll be breathing the lower band, front, side, back, continue, front, side, back, continue inhaling, front, side, back. And when we exhale, back to side, front, middle, back to side, front, lower, back to side, front. So let me try and guide you through one, although our timings will be different. So let's take a nice deep inhalation together. And a complete exhalation. Exhale, 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 exhale. Lowest band. Inhale to front, side, back, mid, front, side, back, top, front, side, back. Exhale, back to side, front, mid, band, back, side, front, lowest band, back, side, front. Just relax. So we'll do that a couple more times. And now, as you're doing it by yourself, so we'll all be at different rhythms, don't worry too much about the precision of it. Let's think more about the feeling of going through these 3 areas, 3 levels and 3 areas. So when you're ready to breathe in, let's start lower level, front, front, side, back, mid-level, front, side, back, top level, front, side, back, to exhale, top, back, to side, front, mid, back, to side, front, lower, back, and sides and front. Let's do 2 more rounds with or without the movement of your hands, whatever feels more beneficial. Very nice. Let's just sit for a moment when you've finished your rounds and feel how the lungs have been moved and stretched, and the potential to take in more life force. And we'll chant Om together. So we're thinking of the R in the lower and the Oo in the middle. And then let's take the right to the top. So you can move your hands or keep them at the heart. So let's inhale for Om. And again, inhale. And once more. Let's rest for a moment at the heart space, the lungs massaging, hugging the heart. Let's have a little stretch. So let's extend the legs when you're ready. They don't have to be rigidly straight. And let's raise the arms up. So we're opening the heart, opening the chest, softening the shoulders. Keeping this lift, let's tilt the body. You can keep the arms up for a moment and then release the hands to the floor. You can tilt and let the head drop if that feels good. And then slip the hands back towards the hips and continue. We're making this a cycle of the breath. Inhaling, raising up. Exhaling, we're tilting to the legs, sliding the hands back, and when we're upright again, we raise the arms and we inhale. Inhaling and exhaling. So taking a few rounds, and perhaps you have more of an awareness of your lungs and you want to continue that sense of the 9-part breath, whether it's a very specific or a general feeling of moving through these 9 areas of your lungs, connecting with them as you begin to wake up the legs, wake up the spine. Move it freely as well if there's a twist coming in, or do whatever the body feels it wants to do. Let's take one more round like this. And then the next time you reach up, holding the position, being with your breath for a moment, and then bringing the hands back down to the heart. You could close your eyes and breathe here. And now we're going to separate the legs so it can be as narrow or as wide as you feel. And let's just start circling as if we're doing Sufi grind, but the legs are wide. So almost as if the breastbone is moving your palms as you circle in one direction. And as you're doing this, can we have this sense of the ribs moving, the lungs moving? And then as we continue here, also start to feel into the belly, the large intestines. So as we massage the large intestines, this is this sense of letting go, supporting this feeling of releasing and letting go, which is on that physiological level as well as emotional. Let's bring it back to center. Pause for a moment. Two sit bones connected to the earth. Let's change direction. Start to move the spine, move the breastbone, move the space between the shoulders. You can let the head, especially if you're not going too fast, you could be a little bit freer with the neck. In fact, it might be quite nice to move the arms a little bit. So as I said, extension, the energy channels from the lungs and the large intestine move through the arms. Nice. Let's come back to center and reach the arms up again. Soft shoulders, lungs expanded. Let's take a big deep breath with that 9-part breath, awareness. And an exhalation with that 9-part breath, awareness. So from here, bending up the legs a little bit, and we're going to start to turn the lungs and the heart and the belly in one direction. Bring it back to center. You can windscreen the legs and turn the lungs and the heart and the belly in the other. So find your own rhythm with this and feel very free to pause. If you find a delicious bit that you want to go deeper into it, then that's your practice, it's your body. This is very, very strong, actually, it can be very strong for the large intestine here. Really, you can get everything moving. So as we know, this is elimination. And it's also, with the large intestine, it's the final moment of absorbing the goodness, what the body needs, taking the moisture, and then letting go of what it doesn't need. So we might have a little ponder and awareness of that in our lives. Making the most, receiving the nutrients, the nourishment, and letting go of things that are no longer valuable. Lovely, let's bring it back to center. Take your legs however you want them now. I'm going to cross mine. And then let's bring the hands to the heart. And pause here for a moment. You can stay with this awareness of the 9-part breath, or maybe a different breath is coming to you. I love to imagine I'm breathing through my hands and clearing the heart's energy. Or let's clear any stagnation in the lungs. Wonderful. From here, let's bring the palms together, making prayer. So let's all place the right thumb on top. Interlace the fingers and press your palms away as if they're pushing on a wall. And then as you do that, round out the back and take the breath into the back of the lungs. You can scoop the belly in as well. Then we'll bring the spine back to neutral, keep the shoulders low and start to raise the arms. Now if the shoulders lift, don't worry to lift them too high. Really take it to a level that feels really appropriate for your body, and you can keep the shoulder blades soft. And from here, let's have a little tilt, right and left. So feeling the ribs move, right and left, feeling the lungs move. Let's bring it back to center, lengthen the spine as we breathe in. As we breathe out, release the fingers and turn the breastbone and the heart to your right. So you're shining the heart and the lungs, the front of the lungs, out to the right. Without the arms levering, we can do that first, and then if you want to, bring the hands down as for more leverage. You could take the left hand somewhere along the right knee thigh and the right hand towards the floor. So really, for yourself, find out, remember those bands of our lungs. Maybe you're targeting the top or the bottom or the middle. Take a lovely deep inhalation. As you exhale, return back to face forward. Bring the hands back to the heart. Let's breathe. Can you feel your heart beating? Let's take the left thumb on top, interlacing the fingers and press away and round back. So you might, if you're pushing against the wall, the arms are quite strong here. Shoulders down and round. You could tuck the chin and get involved right to the top back surface of your lungs. Come back to neutral. Take the arms up to in a way that doesn't disturb the torso. Let's have a little twist, turning left and right, keeping those armpits nice and broad, side to side, moving the diaphragm, moving the belly. Let's open up the other way now, so releasing the hands and let the heart shine out to the left. You could stay here with the arms free flow, or you could bring them towards the floor or towards the body to give yourself a little bit. Sometimes it's quite nice to bring in a slight back bend. It depends where you are trying to target. If you are still with your breath and you're moving consciously and relatively slowly, then you will keep your awareness and you will do what's right for your body. Take a nice deep inhalation. As you exhale, come back. And let's bring the hands back to the heart again and take a couple of breaths in to the heart. Very nice. We're bringing our awareness up to the throat and this area, akasha, of space. And let's drop the arms and start to roll the shoulders. So you might go forwards, you might go backwards. Just move your shoulders and let the arms be quite heavy. Feel into your throat and your neck. And then let's circle the elbows. Circle the elbows so the circles will look a bit bigger. Great. Maybe you go forwards, maybe you go backwards. You can just play around with this movement. And then the wrists are leading, so the circles will be drawn a little bit bigger. Nice. And changing direction possibly. Good. Ooh, and then back, feeling into the wrists, and then soften the arms and circle like you're painting the circles with your elbows. Moving the lungs, the shoulders, the neck, the throat, and then drawing the circles with the tops of the arms with your shoulders, maybe backwards, maybe forwards. And I'm going to take this opportunity to move my jaw and stretch the tongue. Lovely. Oh, let's be still for a moment. Be soft in the shoulders and soft with the tongue and the throat. So let's move our awareness up to the space between the eyebrows, Ajna Chakra, third eye. And either you could stay here and imagine you're drawing light into this area, or a good position would be a cow position. So the spine is concave, the shoulders are away from ears, and still focus into the center of the skull, eyebrow level, still taking in the light. You might prefer to sit, so your choice is yours here. You might be feeling that you want to be quite vigorous and a floor bow might be your thing. So you choose which position you're going to do for the next 20 seconds, breathing into that space of light, of intuition, of awareness. We'll take a few more moments here. Feel your spine lovely and long, no compression, ease and space. Lovely. Let's come to neutral spine. And when you're ready, set up for your down dog. So you could take your hands further, you can tuck your toes, send the pelvis up and back. Maybe take a moment, because we haven't moved the legs so much. We had them lengthened and wide. You could pedal through, lifting one heel and the other. So because we're focusing into the lungs here as well, let's have the chest drawn back towards the thighs. It's as if your armpits are trying to touch your knees. So we're really opening up the backs of the lungs as well. And then take your time to step your feet forward towards your wrists. And we're going to hold here for half a minute. So this is really letting go. So this is the quality of autumn. It's about letting go. There can be a melancholy, a sadness. After the expansion of the summer and the still point of late summer, there comes a turning point, like that exhalation where it's time in the cycle of our lives to let go, to decrease. The light is decreasing, the leaves are falling, and we too need to learn how to let go. So you arrange yourself. What do you need to do to let go, to stay here and be in this letting go? Is it softer knees? Is it the weight distributed differently in your feet? What can we do to be comfortable with the letting go? The stillness, the not doing, the decrease. So we're going to take our time to start to roll up through the spine. Take your time. You can let the head come up last. And coming up into a standing. Be here for a moment. And once again, feeling into the receiving lungs of the life force, the heavenly chi, and being in your mountain nice and grounded. Let's just take a little tap up and down the breastbone, into the lungs, into those areas that we've taken the breath into. Good. I thought it would be nice, because we've had a very powerful full moon, I thought it would be nice to do Chandra Namaskar, the moon salutation, which is different to the sun salutation. I'll stand here. So we'll go through it. If you want to join me, we'll go through it bit by bit. Take our time with each of the shapes, and then we'll go through it more energetically. So we need to, if you're on your mat, you need the mat to be sideways. So rather than being at the top of the mat, like for Surya, you come into the middle of the mat. And standing in the middle of your mat is quite a good idea. Okay. So when you're ready, we're going to take the arms up above, interlace the fingers. Let's take the left thumb on top of right and point the index finger and reach the arms up. And then we're going to tilt the body to the right, opening up the left side like a crescent moon. And then come back up to center and take it the other way. Lovely. And let's come back up to center. Now we're going to take the feet wider, so we could step that left foot wider and open up and bend the knees into a goddess pose. You can join the thumbs and index fingers together. So really sitting low. From here, extend the arms out. We'll turn the left toes left and the right heel out, and we're ready for a Trikonasana triangle. So we're going to come into a triangle. And choose where the head is. Do you want to look down, straight ahead, or up? We're in a triangle, lengthening both sides of the body. From here, we turn the gaze down towards the left foot and bring the right hand down and frame the front foot. Now it's A good idea here to move that back foot. You might even lift the heel until the hips are much more level, and then we can fold the body down over that front leg. Letting go here. From here, we bring that back knee, the right knee down. Let's interlace the fingers again. Let's have the left thumb on top. And we're raising the arms up and maybe a little bit back. Maybe the hips will sink down a little bit. Another crescent moon. Breathing here. Inhale, come back up to neutral. As you exhale, let's take both hands down inside the left foot. And then tuck the back toes, pick up the knee, pivot on the ball of the right foot, and bring that heel towards the floor. Maybe pick up your right toes and face forward. The hands can stay down, or you could make a prayer at the heart. And we'll take that through Malasana squat to get to the other side. So from here, let's extend that left leg out and bring the hands to the heart. And then we'll turn in the direction of the right foot. Frame the right foot, bring the left knee down to the floor. Left thumb on top of right, reaching forward, up, maybe a little bit back. And then back to center, release the hands, frame your front foot, tuck back toes. Walk the pelvis up and back. You're sort of straightening the legs, so you might have to move that back foot and fold the body on the front leg. From here, it's a good idea to put your back heel down, stabilize here, and swirl and bring the left arm up, so you might lift up a bit. Once we come up, let's all come up. We're coming into Goddess. So arrange your feet on knees so they're in the same tracks. We're coming back to Goddess. And now let's bring the feet nearer each other. Raise the arms straight up. And then back to the heart. Take a moment. Let's take the right thumb on top of left, interlace fingers, point the index, reaching all the way up to the sky, up to the moon. Opening the right side of the body as you tilt to your left. Coming back to center, opening the left side as you tilt to your right. Coming back to center, let's take the right leg wide, make a goddess. Down we go. Nice. Right foot turning right, left heel out. We're taking it to triangle. Lengthen the both sides of the body, even the underside. Gaze towards right foot, framing the foot. Move that left foot to where it needs to be so your hips can be more level. Fold along your front leg. Move to bring your left knee to the floor. Right thumb on top of left, let's make Crescent Lunge. So you can lift up, open the heart. From here, come back up neutral, release the hands inside the right foot, move the back foot so that you can make a Skandasana. You can have the hands down. Walk through the center, pause here. Malasana. Extend the right leg. Hands make prayer. Or floor, it's okay. Turning towards your left foot, right knee comes down. Raising the heart, raising the arms, right thumb on top of left. Let's frame the front foot, tuck back toes, take the pelvis up and back, fold the body on the front leg. If that back heel is lifted, which it probably is, change the position to pivot on the back foot and bring the heel down so you're sturdy and stable here as you raise your right arm, revolve through the belly to make Trikonasana. We're coming all the way up, we're taking it into Goddess. Bring the legs nearer, take the palms up to prayer, and exhale back to heart. Release the arms down by the side. Just imagine the light of the full moon, the silver light shining. this metallic quality. And metal is the element of autumn. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. So let's do the same practice one more time. And don't worry so much about the precision. Of course, don't harm yourself, but let's just let it flow. Left thumb on top of right, reaching the arms up to the sky. Open the left side, tilt to right. Come back to center, open right side, tilt to left. Come back to center, left leg separate wide, take it goddess. Into Trikonasana, left foot sideways, Trikonasana. Framing your front foot, move your back foot to level off the hips and fold your body along your leg. Place the right knee down, Crescent Lunge. Come back up to center, place the hands inside left foot, pivot on the ball of the back foot, back heel down, prayer to heart. Take it through center, squat. Extend the left leg long, prayer maybe to heart. Frame front foot as you turn to the right, bring the back knee down, raise your arms up, maybe a little bit back. Frame front foot, tuck back toes, lift your pelvis up and back, fold. Bring the back heel down, raise the left arm for your triangle. Come up, take it to goddess. Come back to center, bring the feet nearer, raise the palms to the sky. And back to your heart. Take a nice deep breath in. And out. Right thumb on top of left, interlace fingers, point index, reach up. Tilting to left, opening right. Come back to center, tilting right, opening left. Come back to center. Take the right foot wide, goddess. Triangle, right foot out to the side, right arm down, left arm high. Turning to face the right foot, frame, back knee comes down, raising the arms up. Come back to center, bring the hands inside the foot and pick up your toes, bring your hands maybe to the heart. Walk through center, squat. Right leg extends. Turn to the left, frame your front foot, back knee down. Reaching up, maybe a little bit back. Frame your front foot, tuck back toes, lift the pelvis up and back and fold. Stabilize with back heel down, straight legs as you come into Trikonasana. Reaching all the way up and then into goddess. Standing up, bringing the feet nearer, raising the palms up to the sky, and drawing the prayer back to the heart. Take a moment. Be stable here, feeling the energy within your body. Let the breath find its rhythm. Don't worry to control your breath. Simply be with your breath right now. Good. So when you're ready, come back onto your mat, come into sitting on your mat. Be with your breath for a moment, and you can bring the hands back to the lungs. You can feel your heart beating. Nice. Good. So we're going to do a sequence. Let me see, you can't see my legs. 1 second. Good. So we're going to have the left foot forward, the left leg forward. So it goes from hip to knee, knee to ankle as best we can, and the back leg echoing the shape. So something like this, something like this. Now you can place cushions under your knees if that feels too intense. But we're calling this deer pose, and what we're going to do is twist away from the feet. So we're twisting the lungs somewhere towards your left. Now you can stay quite upright or a little bit lower. So I'm actually going to start timing these so that we just have a lovely feeling of balance in terms of our timings. There we go, good. So you're turning away and you're aiming to feel this somewhere, one of those places that we visited with your lungs, in your lungs, I should say. So breathe consciously. Some of us like to go low with this, and maybe put a cushion under your head. So it's very experimental, it's very individual. So the quality, we had the wood in the spring and the fire of summer and the earth element of late summer, and now in autumn we have the quality, the element of metal. And there's this sense that metal is something precious and it can be hidden and it creates integrity for the earth. And there's this sense of mining for these golden nuggets. So as you take the last 30 seconds in this twist, we could be aware of that feeling that we have this hidden treasure within. We all do. And autumn is a good time with the falling and the letting go, and maybe that sometimes those feelings of melancholy and decrease, just to draw really back deep within and to return to those qualities. So let's just gently, gently come up now. Good. Take a little moment. Now, from here, we're going to keep that back leg where it is and extend the front leg. So it's quite a strong opening in that right groin, and you can stay upright here, or you could fold over your long leg. Now the thing is, in these next 2 minutes that we'll stay here, is to really release as much as you can. So when we're good yoga students, we know about our alignment, but when we're in these positions, we're not seeking out alignment, we're letting go. So often places like ankles, feet turn in and out, maybe the knee rolls in or rolls out. We just follow our own structure, our own bones. Just letting go. And again, you could take your cushion, you could place your belly on your cushion so that that feels better for the left hamstring, opening up that right groin and breathing. And we'll just we're halfway through the hold here. So dig deep, go mining for your value. So metal is valuable. We all have value. We all have meaning. Letting go to find our inspiration, our true nature. Last few breaths. Stay with your breath, feeling into all parts of your lungs for the last 10 seconds. Lovely. So let's come upright again. Now, I'm going to give some options for the next. We can either do half saddle, which means we bring the knees nearer, make space for that right sit bone, and we either stay upright or we start to fold back. Again, you might put your cushion at your lower back. If this is too much for your right knee, because it's really is stretching through the quads for the spleen and stomach meridians, then you can take the leg out wider, or you can come onto your front for a sphinx. So I'll just show that to remind you, which would be here. We're stretching here, so you can take this. With your half saddle, if the knees are feeling okay about this, you can start to take the body back. You might even like to take the arms back. So just see what's working for your body. Stay with your breath again. Remember that you can, I'm not with you, but I'm inviting you to use your blankets, cushions, however needed, between thighs and calves, under knees, under the front of your feet, whatever allows you to be more present. We'll just stay for a little bit longer. We're halfway through. Nice. Yeah, so there can be a sense of decay in autumn. And this really is also to be embraced. It's part of the cycle of nourishment. So we're letting go into the earth, and then the cycle is that there'll be new growth. We need to rest. We need to look after ourselves. Last 15 seconds. Keeping your focus. So if you're on your belly, in your sphinx, start to transition now. And we'll all have that left leg still long. You can come sit upright. And then we'll release that right leg and take the foot across, planting it outside the left knee, and we'll make a twist. Again, we're turning the heart, the lungs to the right. Choose your position, whether you wrap or lever or thread it through and bind. So you see what feels right for you. And of course, depending on how you take your twist, you'll be targeting that center of the twist into different areas of your lungs. You'll also be feeling this through your belly. Keep your breath moving. We're twisting. We're moving our lungs. We're getting into those pockets of our lungs that maybe have been a bit stagnant. Keep breathing. Halfway through. It could be good to be really connected with your breath, to be fascinated, to let the mind be held by the movement of your breath. Keep your awareness. Last 30 seconds. So when you know it's the last part of the hold, sometimes it's nice to back away, sometimes it's nice to say, oh, I think I can just take it a little bit deeper. We're not practicing with our egos, we know that. It's purely an inquiry with respect. Last 15 seconds. Lovely. Now take your time to unravel out of this twist. As you've been squeezing your lungs, and now the breath can come back into those areas. So we're going to extend that right leg long and we're going to tilt forward into a forward fold. Once again, you might take your cushion, you might have like your legs wider. We're simply going to let go here. Another thing is, if you don't have suitable cushions, a nice thing is to wrap your forearms under your knees. Keep your belly and thighs connected and fold. And we're going to stay the same length of time as we've held each of the shapes. So breathing here. Letting go. So now, in terms of the channels, we're tugging at the back channels of the body, the kidney and the urinary bladder. So these are associated with the water element of winter. So that dropping, letting go into the winter. Halfway through, let go as best you can. Staying a little bit longer. The gifts of this quality, a non-attachment, this ability to let go. And for the last 20 seconds, stay with your breath the way we have been. Really connected to the breath, to the lungs, to the large intestines, to the letting go and the receiving. And very gently start to bring yourself back upright. Take a moment being upright. And then we'll take that left foot across the right and turn the lungs to the left. So once again, feel free to wrap, bind, to maneuver until you feel you can thread. Find your twist. When we're twisting like this, we are really changing the shape of the lungs. So that means that you'll be breathing into maybe different pockets and others will not be available, but they become available again once we release out. Keep breathing, keep finding the spaciousness within. Halfway through this twist, stay with your breath. And for another half minute, stay present as you breathe. Maybe you feel into that 9-part breath, or simply the exchange. You're receiving the prana. In yoga, we say we're receiving the prana and we're letting go. The apana is the eliminating energy. We have 10 more seconds. When you're ready, prepare yourself to come out of your twist. So your chest, your belly is facing forward, and notice how that feels for you. Notice, observe any changes. So we're going to keep that right leg long and fold the left leg back into our half saddle. Now, if you were on your belly before, go on your front for your Sphinx. You know what you're doing here. You can stay upright, you can tilt back. If you came onto your front into your Sphinx, Go ahead and do your Sphinx. You can make the bend a little bit less by taking the elbows forward, or you can make it a little bit more by lifting your elbows, stretching through the quads, lifting the heart. So you choose. If you're not on your belly, your right leg is long, your left leg is folded, and you can come and bring the spine back as much as you wish to, and rest. So we want to, actually it's good to come to a place where you finally can be and scan through the body and notice any holding areas. Maybe the glutes, the buttocks are clenching to hold a position. If that's the case, change it, prop yourself up, take yourself out a little bit, give yourself a bit more space. So there's less muscular effort and we can go deeper into the tendons, the ligaments. We're going to stay for another half minute. So in that case, you can take it a little deeper, you can back away. Last 20 seconds. Letting go, letting go. So very gently start to bring yourself upright again. And if you are on your belly, then extend that right leg long. Good. And then we're going to take that left knee out to the side, half frog. And the choice here could be to fold over the right leg and let go here. So you're going to feel the backs of the right leg, the back of the right leg. Maybe you're feeling into the left groin. So that's the liver channel, clearing through the liver at the same time. It might be that you can let the head go a little bit more so that you drop more into the body and a little bit more out of the mind. Keep breathing here. Letting go. So one of the major qualities we associate with the lungs is grief. It's the sadness. The lungs are said to be organs that can hold the sadness, and we breathe through the lungs so that we exchange. Keep breathing. Inspiration, that we inspire. We're breathing. Last half a minute. Going a little bit deeper or backing away for the last 12 seconds. And before you come upright again, take another big breath into the back of your lungs. And then let's gently, gently come upright. And then we're going to bend that right leg as we did before into this deer position. And turn away from your right heel. So finding space and movement and more massaging into the lungs. Once again, you might stay high, you might take your pillow and lie with a little twist and a real letting go. So let's come into a position that feels right and start to really let go here. Someone said something very simple to me, which really touched me, about grief. Just 3 words: grief is love. So we feel the value of it, like the hidden golden nuggets. It's so valuable. It's part of being a human. And then something I read today, which I want to read to you because I thought it was fantastic. See how you feel about this. It says, grief is the emotion that allows us to honor the memory of what we valued, release it, and move on with our lives. So I love this because it's not, the grief here is not just the pain. It's honoring and valuing, it's letting go and moving on. So I'm just going to repeat that again. Grief is the emotion that allows us to honor the memory of what we valued, release it, and move on with our lives. So that quite struck me. Whether it does for you, that's of course up to you. We're going to take another 30 seconds, massaging and squeezing the lungs, releasing and moving on with our lives. Of course, that which we valued will always be valued. Last 15 seconds. Lovely. Let's begin to come upright again. Coming upright and slowly releasing that back leg, extending the legs in any which way. You might like to raise up first, but we're going to fold over the legs again. Legs can be bent. You can have your cushion under your knees, that's a nice one. Again, we're letting go here. You might want to support the head, so you could have your hands supporting the face, the skull, and we're letting go. Breathe into the back body again. Be generous with your breath, breathing in, and be courageous with your out-breath, letting go. The cycle, the rising, the expanding, that still point, the descent, and the nourishment and stillness. Last few breaths, staying with your breath. Lovely. So when you feel ready, take another deep breath in and a full breath out, maybe out through the mouth, a sigh, and then gently start to bring yourself upright again. You can have the legs long or you can bend them, and let's touch back into that 9-part breath with our awareness maybe this time, simply acknowledging the lower area of our lungs, the middle and the upper, the front, the side, the back. And as we exhale from the upper, the back, the side, the front, so finding your own rhythm with this and letting your awareness go to where it feels very peaceful and natural. After your next exhalation, just breathe in naturally as you bring the soles of the feet together and bring the hands somewhere near your ankles or shins. So from here, we're going to really lift the chest up. So it's almost a feeling of almost a back bend feeling. Lifting up and then tilting the chest down towards your feet, almost still with that back bend feeling. And then dropping the head and rounding so that you're rounding from the pubic bone through the navel, through the chest, and then lifting the chin up again and lifting up. So again, it's a cycle. We could possibly integrate the breath so that we inhale to lift up, exhale to fold, and find your own rhythm. Or maybe you want to take it very slowly and take the breath more as it comes. Finding this cycling, lifting the heart, lifting the lungs, moving the spine. Taking a few more moments. And the next time you come up, you lift the heart and tilt forward. And this time we'll come forward, so long spine, come forward, lift up. And when you get to the top, then you can round all the way down, bringing your face to the knee. So you're rounding down, face to the feet, and then come forward. So once you've got something, try not to think about it too much. It's simply moving in the opposite direction. There's no right or wrong here. Keep moving your spine, keep moving your lungs. Very nice. Great. And for the last time when you come up, stay for a moment and then move the hands and then maybe some figures of 8. You could incorporate the rounding, the lifting, as if you're moving the heart in an infinity symbol, the lungs too. Keep moving, feeling the lungs. Last few moments. And then let's bring ourselves back into a stillness. Feel your energy, notice, observe. And let's come lying out on the back. We'll take a few minutes lying down so you can cover up and get comfortable. We're going to be in stillness for 5 minutes or so even. So take your time, make yourself comfortable. I encourage you to do a lot of fidgeting, to alter things, to rearrange yourself. Turn out lights, whatever you need to do. And then, once you've given yourself permission to collect everything you need, and to tuck things in and pull things out, let yourself settle. So let's take the next 20 seconds or so to come into stillness. Now you can choose how you place your body. As you know, if you practice regularly with me, you know I'm very happy for you to have the legs bent or long, depending on what feels best for your back. Let's all come into a stillness now. So of course, beneath the stillness, there's such movement. Where can you feel that movement, or imagine or visualize that movement within your body? Maybe you could visualize the movement of the oxygenated blood. Or the little sacs in the lungs opening up and exchanging with the capillaries, receiving the used blood, CO2, and giving the oxygen, the movement of your lungs. In the Chinese medicine, the color we associate with autumn and the lungs is white. You might like to visualize white light in your lungs, receiving this healing light into your lungs. Maybe visualizing the whole of the network of the veins and the arteries and the capillaries, almost like a tree, the branches, as if your whole body is a tree. And just as you know, we understand the in-breath, the out-breath have equal value. So the receiving and the letting go, the growth, the expansion, the decreasing, equal value. Maybe your tree, the leaves are turning beautiful reds and golds and browns, very gently releasing into the earth to nourish the earth. With each leaf, maybe there's something that feels right for you to let go of. This feeling of letting go, of surrendering, of mining deeply into the treasure within. Feelings of worthiness beyond the external descriptions of what we do, the external feelings of value, that we simply are valued, connecting with the deeper meanings of our lives and trusting that we are guided on every level from our heart, with every action, with each thought, as the Mangalacharana mantra, the sounds, the vibrational codes allow us to find guidance and trust in our hearts, trust and guidance that was always there in the beginning, and guidance from this unseen higher aspect of ourselves and all of us, and with every action and every thought. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siri Guru Deve Name. So I'm going to begin chanting this mantra, and I will move on to slightly different melodies. You're welcome to stay lying out, or you might like to come and sit and join in. But I will change the melody every now and then, and you can either stay with the one you were on, because they all fit together, or you can move with me. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siri Guru Deve Name. Trust, guidance and protection. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siri Guru Deve back to your heart. Bringing your hands into gesture, maybe of prayer or touching the heart space. Sending gratitude to your heart and also your lungs, the receivers of heavenly chi. Gently take a nice in-breath, bowing the head with your exhalation. Peace to you, sending peace, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.